Good morning. This is Saturday, the 7th of September, and I'm here in Halbe, beautiful Halbe, south of Berlin, at the Esperanto station.
Yes.
And this is Chuck, who is the owner of the station?
No,
he's not.
I wish.
He wishes to be the owner of the station.
We just collaborate very closely with the owner of this.
Okay.
The Esperanto.co, and you can see that the sign behind me as well.
And the flag?
Yeah, and the Esperanto flag up there.
Yeah.
So it's a private person, Ralph Fröhlich, who lives in Berlin and lived time to time in Berlin now, and decided to buy a train station, and he's bought this amazing station and renovated it into this beautiful event space. Okay. And in 2021 he received a grant to run a video game festival. So and since then we've been running this every year.
Okay, and this is LUDO, by the way.
Yes.
And yeah, we're here today. It's the second day, so you already had fun yesterday?
Yes. And we also know each other from YouTube. I have a channel called RG Geek there.
Right, this is RG Geek. We'll see other YouTubers later.
Yes, some quite famous ones as well.
Yes. Right, so maybe you show us what you have prepared here.
So let's go inside. So this is the entryway where people are eating. Oh, there's some famous YouTubers already here.
Yes.
Can you introduce yourself quickly?
Suddenly, YouTubers appeared.
Hello. Yeah, hi, I'm Russ from Retro Game Corps.
Hello guys, it's Mashtag here. Nice to meet you.
I already asked the boss whether they could maybe talk to me a bit, so you will hear from them later.
Right now you're going to hear from the train that's passing by outside.
That's what train stations do, right?
I can quickly show you just out the door. So you're right here on the platform, because it's a train station.
Yeah, that's very nice. So the connection is secured, but there's a fence, so you can't directly fall from the train into the place.
Yes, and we have a train going to and from Berlin every hour. So it's quite frequent.
Okay.
All right. So let's check out the event.
Let's check out the event. So it of course starts with the DDR.
Yes. Dance Dance Revolution, Project Outfox, which is a fork of Stepmania running on a B-Link mini PC there.
Wow, okay, sorry, that was the camera.
There was an earthquake that just happened.
Yes, like Halbe is very known for. So DDR is always very important. I mean, there is no anime convention or anything without DDR.
And we got these imported from Poland, well not imported, but delivered from Poland with the logo of the Esperanto.co right in the middle.
Oh, this is not a sticker, it's actually printed.
Tile, yeah.
Wow, very nice. So those hard pads, they are quite famous. I think they're the only ones made in Europe, right?
And here you see our VR standing area.
Yep.
Space. This is early in the morning, so we don't have anyone on VR yet. But you can go through here.
This is a nice chair.
Yeah, this was for a temporary exhibition about. There's loudspeakers inside. Oh. And then later you can sit inside and the sound changes completely.
Okay.
Oh. And here's our, back behind you is the kitchenette for kind of like tea and things like that. And normally this is a meeting space, but the tables for LUDO are moved into the hallway. So here's our VR standing space. And we have 2 Quest 2s and 2 Quest 3 headsets. And the library, our app library is printed there on the wall.
Okay, Beat Saber, of course.
Yes, it's always a fan favorite here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 11 table tennis, we actually have table tennis paddle holders.
Oh, cool.
You can connect directly to a controller. So, and even for people who are very familiar with VR, just the fact you're holding a table tennis paddle just makes it feel so much more real. It's
Don't normal VR controllers also feel a bit like table tennis paddles?
A bit, but not the same.
It's not the
this
same.
is you're actually holding the actual. It feels exactly like a table tennis paddle.
Nice. Okay, I'll try.
And you attach it right on. And we have enough space here that you can actually play 2 players with an invisible table.
That's
and
great.
actually, early on, it was funny because testing equipment, when we weren't so familiar with VR, 2 of the people here actually ended up falling because you sometimes support yourself on the table, but the table didn't exist. Just fell right over.
Oh yeah, of course, because it feels so real that you think there should be a table.
Yes, and here we have an office with where people work regularly who stay in the building, like volunteer and like the owner. Oh, this is actually a smart board. Oh, and funny, you can show. It's a Samsung smart board. Oh,
welcome to LUDO.
Yeah, we joke this is in Dutch and English and Esperanto. But if I go here, we have a famous art piece that was recently created on this board.
That's not it?
This is it. Any idea what that is? Write down in the comments if you think you know what this art is.
Okay.
Right here.
And RG Geek will raffle away a few handheld consoles to the best guesses, right?
Only if you like and subscribe to the Bear Bastard right now.
Okay, this is done with now.
This was actually left on overnight by accident once. These were flies that walked along the board.
No, really?
Yeah. And they were like jumping on the board, and somehow they found the color palette as well, and just started changing the colors.
So this isn't an artifact, it's wow.
Yeah.
It really looks interesting. I've never thought what it would like if you followed the flies on the monitor with lines.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they'll print this out and hang it on the wall, the empty space on the wall over there.
You know those spider experiments they did with different drugs?
Oh yeah.
Maybe you should try giving some LSD to your flies here and see what they come up with.
Sounds like an interesting project, indeed. This was an original sign from Halva back in the day.
Yeah. Gladiator Emai.
And here we have a full commercial kitchen.
Wow.
So if you ever want to organize an event in Halva, maybe with 10 beds upstairs, which I'll show you later. If participants let me. If participants let me. So you can organize events up to like 50 or probably even 100 people with this kitchen. It's fully equipped.
Nice.
We earlier this year had a VR symposium about language learning here with salads and things being prepared on site.
Oh, nice.
So here's the modern gaming room.
Inflatable sofas.
Yes, not just an inflatable sofa, but inflatable sofa bed.
Wow. This is so high tech.
Yeah. We were shocked. These are only 65 euros on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
So, for your next camping trip, remember inflatable sofa beds.
And even cup holders.
With cup holders, of course.
So here we have a 4K projector and 8 Xbox controllers and the Steam Deck dock over there. That's the Xbox. And anyone can dock their ROG Ally or Steam Deck or even switch upside down to play on the projector. The last time we were playing a lot of 8-player games on Switch, and we played Shredder's Revenge.
There will be a Mario Kart tournament today.
Yes, exactly.
So
and the prizes are actually on the table over there.
Wow,
So.
That's all the handheld consoles you're not going to win by correctly guessing the fly picture.
So these are actually spare handhelds because Retro Game Core wants to review, and he generously donated these to the event for giving away his prizes.
Wow.
So we're excited about that.
So it really is a good idea to take part.
Yes.
Maybe you get the blue shell at the right minute to actually win this thing. But it's 3 rounds, right? You start with...
We start with GameCube, and then we move on to Nintendo 64 upstairs on the CRT, and then Super Nintendo for the final 2 players remaining.
Best out of 2. Okay.
Yeah. So here we have our 100-inch screen, and it's a bit unfortunate this year because of the art exhibition, we're not playing directly on the wall, because normally we have a 150-inch screen that we're playing on, which, not a screen but a wall, but...
there is a bit of pictures at the moment.
Yeah, and amazingly...
They all have something to do with trains, it seems?
Yes, it's a train exhibition, a temporary exhibition going on right now.
Okay.
And what's amazing about this 100-inch screen is that if you play, say, a split-screen game 3x3, your part of the screen is still 33 inches, which is amazing.
Did you say 100-inch?
100-inch screen, yes.
And you play a split screen 4x4?
No, 3x3.
Ah, yes, of course. It's still
33 inches, just for your
Which
part.
games are 3x3, by the way?
Virtual Racing for the Switch. We played Virtual Racing last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I know a 4-way split screen, but 9-way, that sounds really interesting.
And we also, well, 8-way, but yeah. We also played Nintendo World Championships, which was 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. Because of the 4:3 aspect ratio, switching to, yeah.
Really nice.
Widescreen. And here we have the TV with the GameCube and Switch already connected. And 2 of the GameCube controllers were imported from Japan.
Okay.
They're actually Nintendo originals made, I believe, in 2018. There's a video on my channel if you want to see more details.
They did a reissue when they released the new
Smash for Switch.
Was that Smash Ultimate or is that only the Switch version?
I just say Smash for Switch.
Yeah. So yeah, new original GameCube controller. So they only need to. Didn't they even make a new N64 controller for the N64 service?
But I think that was a wireless one. I'm not sure actually. Maybe.
Yeah, right. Because I think
tell us in the comments. 'Cause I'm sure you guys know everything.
I think the analog controller always was the problem with the N64 controllers because
and we're hoping they hold up for the tournament today. They were tested. Yeah, actually last night we found the cart wasn't working and my co-organizer Tanya had to use contact cleanser to fix the cart so it would work for the tournament today. So it's crazy sometimes the random tech we have around here. And before the event we degaussed the TV as well with a wand.
That's always nice when you're dealing with retro equipment that there's always funny things happening. And this is the rest of the station?
This is the bathroom.
Yes.
And I can show you upstairs as well. So, and the retro room is upstairs.
Oh yeah, of course. So what did you do wrong to get to organize this event?
I suggested to Ralph sometime maybe we should organize a video game event, and then he applied for a grant and got it. And then he was like, "We got the grant."
Officially subsidized.
Yeah, and then but the funny thing is that time it was in the middle of Corona and it was toward the end of the grant period. So we had exactly 2 months to spend the entire budget. So it was quite stressful. A good stressful though. So come now to the retro room. So over here we go back in history to Atari Pong. It's a plug and play system I got that goes straight into the TV in the early 2000s.
Okay, it doesn't really look like 70s, but yeah.
Yeah. This looks more old. This was a Lego NES that Mashtech brought.
Yes. Oh, the original one with the foil. With the Mario foil for turning. No. Doesn't work? Should it work? I don't know.
Oh, it does work. It's paused, yeah, of course.
Okay.
So,
but the Lego Nintendo actually does work because there's a Raspberry Pi in it,
right,
seems.
It's a Pi. It's running emulation station with 2 NES games on it.
2 NES games?
Yeah.
So somebody is not back in piracy, it seems.
Yeah. So Mashtech made this grab and play section with his handhelds that anyone can just pick up and grab and try them out.
Nice.
So, and this corner is, it actually took us a while to get this Sony Trinitron. We brought it with Uber from Berlin, actually. That was expensive. And it's a 29-inch Sony Trinitron. And like I was telling you earlier, we had to degauss this before the event to try to eliminate flicker as much flicker as possible.
Doesn't it have a built-in degausser, or did it break at some point?
I don't think so. Yeah, and we have an old school DVD player. That's my Super Nintendo from when I was a teenager in the States. And Mashtech brought his Nintendo 64 for the Mario Kart tournament later. It's also have Smash here. And I also have the Super Multi-Tap for the Super Nintendo, so we can play 4 and 5 player Super Nintendo games.
But not Mario Kart.
No, Mario Kart's only 2 players.
Nobody built a 4-player version of that yet.
Yes. So I show you at the end. It's the kitchen for participants, so people can just make their own food if they need to or want to.
Okay.
And that's it.
Thanks for the tour. So you're... somebody doesn't want to be in the picture. Your channel, RG Geek.
Yes.
Is there a, let's say, concept behind it?
Well, it's everything about retro gaming and handhelds, and occasionally some modern gaming as well. It's basically what devices are interesting, and I don't get every device. I just
you've been around for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, you're probably one of the longest running retro handheld channels.
I actually started,
present here today.
Yes, I actually started mine up a month or two before Retro Game Core's channel. So that's how we got to know each other before he got really huge. And but I also on the tail of Mashtech, who had his channel even before mine, also about retro handhelds.
Okay. So, will we see more from you on the YouTube?
Yes. And of course, LUDO takes place every year, so feel free to come out if you live near Berlin to this cool event.
If you see this video, the Sunday is probably already quite late, so maybe not this year, but next year. And to see about the next LUDO, which website would you go to?
You go to ludo.events.
Ludo.events. I think everybody can remember that. Thanks,
but you can also read the title at the bottom. I'm pretty sure the post-production team put it right there.
Maybe it's in the video description. If it's not, just write a comment, I'll pin it or something.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks
like
for
and
the
subscribe.
I think there will be some impressions of the event later when there's perhaps a bit more going on. Everybody is just having breakfast at the moment, it seems. But we'll also do some interviews with the other YouTubers here. So, I'm very happy to see you here, Russ. I heard that you would be coming.
Yeah, I'm here. I haven't been in Germany for long. We've been here a few days now, but it's my first time in Germany for almost 10 years now.
Wow, really okay. Yeah. And you've been to the Computerspiele Museum, I heard?
Yeah, we went to Museum Island, and then right near there is the Computer Games Museum. Really cool. Got a tour from the CEO of the museum. It's really cool.
Right. I celebrated my 42nd birthday there.
Oh, really?
I rented the whole place.
Oh, wow.
Only for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford anymore.
Yeah. They have the Sega Rally Championship 2-player there. So you can both race.
It's awesome. Really a great museum.
Yeah.
I really like also the museum didactics they do there. Also with this big... tower of shelving units with all the games, and you can just put this laser pointer across and get more information on that.
Yeah.
So, of course, I probably don't need to introduce you to people interested in retro gaming, but maybe you can tell in a few sentences what the concept behind your channel is.
Yeah. So my website or YouTube channel is Retro Game Core, and so I mostly cover emulation handhelds. So the idea of playing older systems on handhelds, and there's a new one coming out every month, and so that's the majority of my content is covering reviews and guides related to those retro handhelds to be able to play older games on newer consoles, and put them in your pocket, take them with you like modern Game Boys.
Mm-hmm. You just now did a video on shaders, for example.
Yeah, like showing how you can make a modern LCD display look like an old TV. It's really cool. Then
you did a lot on Portmaster.
Yeah, Portmaster.
So it's not just a specific hardware equipment, but also like the meta.
Right. Yeah, the idea is to basically, just see what kind of cool things you can do with this material. Most of these are they're like little computers, so all the things that you can do with a little computer you can do on these things too.
Yeah. So your channel started in 2020?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right in the middle of the pandemic. I was stuck at home and bored, and I got one of these handhelds, and I started messing with it, and I was like, I don't know how to make this work. And so I learned all the different firmwares and software and emulators and stuff. And I thought people need to hear about this. And so then I made a channel, made a website too, and then just kept making them. And yeah, that's been it ever since.
And how many viewers do your videos normally have now?
So I have about 530,000 subscribers, and a video usually will get at least 50,000 views in the first couple days, and then I often shoot for about 100,000 per video.
So that means that retro handhelds are a very big market now.
Oh yeah, it's definitely growing. The great thing is, even though there is a new one every month, it actually makes it great because there's so much choice. There's so many different types of handhelds, different form factors, vertical, clamshell, horizontal. And so there's always a handheld for every person. You just got to find that right mixture.
Right. So do you think there is a market for retro emulation handhelds?
So you mean like older, like emulators of handhelds kind of thing?
No, I mean like older emulation handhelds, because I brought you one today.
What is this? Oh my gosh. Oh, this is the Odroid Go, right? Is that what it's called?
The original Odroid Go.
I've never seen one of these.
You've done a video on the Odroid Go Advance.
Odroid Go Advance, yeah, but this is, wow.
This is the original with the ESP32.
Yeah.
And maybe I would ask you to just do a spontaneous review of it.
Okay, yeah. So I'll tell you, just in feeling it, number one, it's super thin. Like, look at how thin that is, right? So it's probably less than an inch, all uniform across the back, which makes it really pocketable, which is great. A lot of these will have buttons on the back and makes it stick out. You don't have that. You have like these function buttons in the front instead.
It doesn't have too many buttons, though.
Yeah, only 2 buttons, but these are both rubber membrane. They feel good, actually better than most Odroid handhelds, to be honest. The D-pad doesn't feel good on the right side. It clicks in. There must be something catching. So I'd have to probably take that apart and see, but this is kind of how it is. And
probably got stucky over the years, but it's the original membranes from Game Boy Color, so you can just switch in any Game Boy Color membrane.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, you can see that. And, the Odroids still use Game Boy Color membranes today, and so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this is actually really neat looking. I like the, it's got a mono speaker, but it's on the left side instead of the right, which is kind of unique. Yeah, I really
want to turn it on?
Yeah, how do you, on here? Okay, look at this. So it came on instantly, which is cool. And this looks like some sort of, not emulation station, but like an older version of kind of navigating through the menu. Wow.
Yeah, it's a software called RetroGo.
Okay.
So there was let's say, original software, which also had a few emulators. But RetroGo has been in development ever since. It's still being actively developed now. The MSX has just been added.
Okay.
Doom is quite new.
Wow.
Maybe we'll also see, it does actually do Mega Drive or Genesis.
Yeah. So this the ESP32 you said.
Yeah.
So there are other handhelds with this chipset, right? There was a Game Boy Color looking one that had the Game Boy Color shell. That one didn't last long. I never actually got to make a video on it, but yeah, they were working on an ESP32 video for that, and so or a handheld for that. So that's this is really interesting. What can it play Super Nintendo, like a full speed?
Nah, it's very slow. I mean, depending on the game, you get like 6 to 16 frames per second, so it's very slow.
Yeah,
that's the problem, because the ESP has a 240 megahertz processor.
Oh yeah, not so much.
And it has 8 megabytes of external RAM.
Oh wow. So the screen too, so it's 4:3 and it looks like a 320 by 240 resolution.
Yeah.
It's like maybe 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches.
I think it's more like 2.4 or
okay.
so.
Yeah.
It's really small, but it doesn't look so small because the whole system is quite small.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a good proportion, and it's not laminated, like, so it's not, you can see the gap there, which makes viewing angles not great, but still, like, this is a really unique looking and feeling handheld. It feels solid, like it's very sturdy, and so I really like that. And
you still have the GPIO pins here?
Oh yeah, look at that.
So
it's very Odroid of them too. Yeah.
You can, for example, install a external DAC for headphones, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
or you could connect other controllers.
Odroid has always been, focused on, or not Odroid, what's the name of the company that makes Odroid?
Hardkernel.
Hardkernel, right, thank you. Hardkernel has been very tinker-minded, and so, yeah, I really like the look of this. I love how transparent it is. It's not like opaque or like smoky looking. You can really see inside of it. You can see the SD card, the ribbon cable for this. Yeah, this is a really unique handheld.
I really like the very transparent handhelds. I mean, I have a few Embernics, which are the smoky, grayish, blackish.
Yeah, and you can barely see anything.
Yeah, but this, you can just see what's going on.
Yeah, so, I always say that I like handhelds to feel like they're a machine. They look and feel like it's a machine, and so I like that, Yeah, it looks good.
There have been people dyeing the cases, like giving it a little bit of an orange tint, like the Game Boy Color with the transparent orange.
Yeah.
Or you could just dye it. I mean, you could spray paint it from the inside, and it would be any color. But it's very good to start with a transparent case.
ETA Prime did that with some of the Odroid Go Advances. I remember watching those videos before I'd even really gotten big as a channel. And those are the glory days of ETA Prime.
Yeah, ETA Prime is someone else who would be great if he were here.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, good. So I just wanted to get your
it's amazing.
Your impressions on one of the very first forerunners, maybe of the retro handheld market as we know it today. So this is from 2018, 2 years before you started your channel?
Before my time, definitely. This is really... This is a lot better than I thought it would be, because I'd heard about this, but I'd never seen it. Wow.
So I'll show an even older one to Meshtech.
Okay, cool.
Because he has a bit older channel, so he needs an even older device. But thanks a lot for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. This has been fun.
And I hope you have a great time here in Germany and a good trip back.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
What are your next plans?
So we're here for a couple more days, and then my wife and I are going to Amsterdam.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to be there for almost a week, and then just flying home.
Seeing a bit more of Europe, and you're already here.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did Chuck get you to come here? He was trying for a while, right?
Yeah, he asked me every year for a few years now, and finally I was like, I can't say no again. So I decided, just to come. We hadn't been to Europe in so long together. My wife, last time we came was 2006 together. It's been a long time since we were in Europe.
Yeah, sure.
So we decided to make a vacation out of it.
Great. And you're wearing your original pants, which you're always using to test the pocketability. Maybe you can do it on the go.
Hey, it fits perfectly. Look at that.
Great. Yeah. So it's passed.
Yeah, I passed the
Passed all the quality tests. Yeah. The D-pad is a bit sticky.
I
already tried to clean it off. There's something sticky, like a soft drink or so, must have gotten into it.
Yeah, we have to take it apart and look.
Okay, thanks very much, Ross, and see you some other time.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Or on his channel, of course, Retro Game Core. Bye. So, hi Meshtech.
Yeah, hello guys, it's Meshtech here. I'm here with the bear Bastard.
Big YouTube meetup on the LUDO 24. So maybe we'll start with your channel. You already told me that you aren't that active anymore at the moment, but maybe you can explain shortly in a few sentences what the idea behind your YouTube channel is.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I started like a lot other YouTubers in 2020 or early 2020. With the pandemic, and with the first release of the RG350, which was like the seed of all that growing up now.
Oh, we see about that.
And I had time because my son was born, and most of the time, early time, my girlfriend took care about him, and I couldn't do much, so I looked for something to spend time with, and I got this RG350, which was the beginning of everything for me. And I looked it up in the internet. I tried to figure out what I could do with that thing, because it was so interesting, and I didn't find much at this time about it. So I started digging into this rabbit hole myself, and figured out a few stuff. It started with new emulators to add on it, and getting a fancy front end to it, because at the beginning it was OpenDingux. It looked like Windows 95. You might remember. It looked awkward and not very user friendly. So I thought, how could I get some user friendliness to that thing? And yeah, I found Emulation Station and I tried to get it run to it, and I made it. So at the end, I managed to get a lot of stuff done on that thing, and as the fact that I didn't find anything on the internet, I decided to share what I found out with the community or with the people out there that might have the same problem or want to do the same thing with their handheld. So yeah, I was thinking about making a website, but making a website, it comes with, you need a hoster, you need a domain, and you need something to make the website. And I thought,
and also reading isn't a very popular skill anymore.
Yeah, true. Yeah, people like it easy. So YouTube was the first thing that came to my mind, and it was easy because I already had a YouTube account. I just had to make a video and show everything, and then it's done. I don't need a website and stuff.
And sometimes really don't understand for some things where you would need to write one little paragraph. People make 10-minute videos. Like I'm searching, not YouTube, but on a search engine on the internet for how do I do this and that in DaVinci Resolve, and there is zero written articles, but there is a lot of videos, and then you always have to watch a video where people start with telling about everything. And you have to find that little snippet, the 30 seconds where they show what you're actually looking for. But yeah, that seems to be a problem of our times.
yeah, true thing, the bear. It's a bit annoying, and sometimes it's easier to have a website where you could open up and read stuff and reread it every time, so you don't have to. It's hard to search in a YouTube video, right, for a keyword.
Yeah, but that's what Russ is doing, I think, beautifully, because he does videos like this half-hour video on Portmaster, but he's also have an article, and if you can read and you can just pick out the information you need in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, he's doing perfectly great on that, because he has the video presentation, so you can have a first glance in it. And he has the backup of the website where you can go back and you really want to dive deep into it. You take the website and you can go deep. That's a great combination.
But it's his full-time job. So
for him, absolutely. Yeah, he told me it's like a 16-hour job per day.
Yeah, well, I can imagine. But if you're doing what you love, you aren't really working, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If your hobby becomes your job, you don't have to work.
Yeah. So I heard that the handheld emulation devices are great for new parents because you can just, while caring for your child or sitting with them while they fall asleep or so, you can just one-handedly play through Final Fantasy VII again, which wouldn't be possible with a big console with a television and stuff.
Yes, yeah. It's a lot easier like that. First in place, you don't have to exchange cartridges. Yeah, you have your ROMs on them, your legal ROMs.
No, totally legal, always.
Sure. And you can. And another great thing, you have the save states. Yeah, so actually, if your baby needs new pants, you have to lay it aside or shut it down. You have to go somewhere else. You just make a save.
Just close it, like the. What was the name of the you had it on the table? The clamshell harmonic.
The SP, the RG350.
Yeah.
XXSP, right. the one that looks like a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, right, that one. You just close it, right, and it goes into sleep mode.
Yes, yeah, that's very comfortable as well. Yeah, so these retro gaming handhelds come with a lot of improvements compared to the original consoles, and they emulate them so well you don't see a difference.
Right. So your channel, as you said, has been around since the 2020s.
Right.
Did you get in contact with any handheld things before that? I mean, apart from probably the Game Boy, which everybody had at some point, it seems.
Yeah, actually, that was my first handheld. So when I was a child, my aunt on Christmas offered my brother and me Game Boy with Tetris for sure. It came along with,
of course.
And yeah, it's epic music.
You know, there's a Game Boy Tetris World Championship now.
Right now?
Not right now, but it has been running for 3 years now. Yeah, I mean, there's of course the NES Classic World Championship. Everybody knows that. But
I know that because they recently. Yeah.
And to make that actually happen, because it takes part online, so people have to basically stream their Game Boy. There is this what was it called? That interposer cartridge, which you put between the Game Boy cartridge and the Game Boy, and it basically runs a Game Boy emulation, but not on its own, but based on all the communication between Game Boy and cartridge, so it can just display the Game Boy's image.
Okay, so you can't cheat and everything. And
no, it's not cheating. It's your Game Boy is just playing the Game Boy cartridge, and this interposer thingy listens in on the bus communication. Basically, runs its own Game Boy emulation, which does the exact same thing that the original Game Boy is doing, and just presents that as a USB webcam.
Okay, so you have the original screen.
Yeah, for playing on.
Yeah, cool.
Of course, because the USB image also has a bit of lag. That's not good for playing Tetris.
Indeed.
That was also invented by a YouTuber. What was the name of the channel? If only there were, or I wish there were, if only this existed, something like that.
Okay.
I put it in the link. So that was basically invented for a YouTube video.
Cool, yeah, and it made it to the World Championship now.
Yeah. It's enabling the World Championship to happen, basically.
Yeah, you see, that's the power of retro gaming YouTube channels, like ours.
Yeah.
I mean, you do it as well. Maybe not as your main focus, but you do it as well. So,
So, do you know this?
Yeah, it's NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah? Have you ever seen it?
I've seen it in videos. I don't own it myself. It's the first time I hold it in my hands. But
what is your first impression?
It's heavy.
It really is, right? It's not really pocket friendly.
Yeah, not really. I mean, yeah, it has thickness, but even for its age, I mean, it has everything it needs. It has the shoulder buttons. It has HDMI out. Wow, yeah.
It's from 2013.
Yeah.
So
imagine
11 years ago.
11 years ago, yeah.
And it was basically one of the first portable handheld emulation machines, even though NVIDIA maybe didn't really plan it as an emulation device.
Yeah, since it has Android on it, you can put emulators on it. Yeah, I see you already have RetroArch on it. Okay,
yeah.
And Recast for Dreamcast gaming, and I think there might be a lot more, huh?
No, not really.
Okay.
I tried. I would have basically update. I mean, if you start RetroArch, you see it's 1.9 something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very old. So the most modern operating system available for it is basically Android 5.1.
Oh, you get interrupted.
I'm so sorry.
Hi.
This is Manuel from Mashtec.
Yeah, hello. It's Mashtec here.
Good to see you too. I'm Ironclad Cobra from Hanover.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Right, yeah.
Hi.
Nice to meet you as well. Are you a YouTuber as well?
Yes, we're actually doing a YouTube video at the moment. So oh, we can just cut it out, or you can say a few words. I don't know.
Ironclad Cobra from Hanover. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
See you in a bit.
Yeah.
We'll just finish up here like in 2 minutes or so.
Oh, thanks. Bookmarks you can share with your friends on my YouTube channel.
Great, thanks.
See you later.
Yeah. Thanks.
So this really is VidCon retro edition or something.
Yes, yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah. So the most modern version of Android for this machine is 5.1. So it is getting a bit long in the tooth, but I think it's probably one of the first handheld emulation machines that people saw.
Yeah, it's interesting that you come along with it because, yeah, it's 11 years ago, and I mean, all this retro gaming handheld things started almost around 2020, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there were handhelds before, but it was not that famous, and there was no community growing up.
I mean, there was Dragonborgs, of course, but that was very high-priced, high-concept devices, basically very, very tiny Linux laptops.
And you might remember, or you might know it or not, I'm not sure, but one of the early startups was the GCW0.
Yeah.
You heard about it? It's the same machine as the RG350 letter. It has this completely same hardware and everything. And all the OPKs that could be installed to the RG350 all came from the GCW0. And there was already a big community, but it was not known. It was not famous, but there was a community already.
And there was the Game Park, of course, but mostly in Korea. You know, that was they tried establishing a new handheld console in the Korean market, which is famously not so happy with Japanese imports.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
So they basically made this handheld console, but people quickly discovered that it's great as an emulation device. Of course, there was emulators for PlayStation Portable. Also a bit of emulation for like the DS. So there has always been a bit of an emulation scene, but it has, I don't know, exploded in the last 5 years, it seems.
Yes, yeah, I have the same impression. Absolutely, yeah. I think it started with all those Chinese models that were roughly cheap, flooding the market and making it available to almost everyone. And yeah, as soon as there is a market and a community, people start digging into and bringing content about it.
You didn't need to jailbreak your device. You would basically just buy on AliExpress or Wish a console that came with 50,000 games pre-installed.
Yeah. Let's not talk about legality, but it makes it easy.
Yeah, but I think also that this event here exists and that there are so many people who are interested in handheld devices is a very interesting development.
Yeah.
And we'll see where this will lead us. I mean, in 11 years from now.
Yeah, we might sit back here again and talk about the newest retro gaming headset in our head.
Or foldable keychain, something.
Yeah, development will go on. So and retro gaming never stops. I just had a word with Russ about it, because retro gaming started like in the late 70s, early 80s, and since then every time new consoles came along. So the retro gaming in 10 or 20 years is going to be about PS5. So you make retro games, you play the old retro games.
Yeah, it's
so play PS5 games or Switch games
It's becoming more difficult though with the digital only consoles, because there just won't be. You won't just find a bunch of PS5 games in your attic anymore, probably.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, cartridges most likely will be gone in future. That's true. Yeah. But I think games will still be developed and they will be there, and so there will still be a retro gaming scene, and it's growing more and more. Okay,
so we'll hear back from you on YouTube probably someday to basically keep up with the developments.
Yeah, I totally plan this, my friend. I will be back someday. As I said, as soon as my son grew up more, and I just don't want to pass these years when he's young, and he's so interesting to me, and we spend so much time together. I would bite my ass one day if I would pass that time. So I make priorities right now, and I will make priorities later.
Will you try to educate your child in a certain way when it comes to video games? Like start with the Atari 2600 and work his way up from there? Or
I don't think I will confront him with that, because that is out of... No, he already is a bit addicted. So we play together, and we also play video games, and we play some old retro games together. So he's into Super Mario Bros. From the NES.
Wow.
He plays it very well.
The best game of all time.
Yeah, I fully agree. And sometimes he's even better than I am. it gives me fears.
Well, it's hand-eye coordination that goes away with age, I think.
Yeah, and he develops so fast with it, so it's gonna be muscle intelligence someday for him. Yeah.
Okay, Mestek, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk with you.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Have a great day here on Ludo.
You too.
And see you some other time.
Yeah, hopefully again.
Sure.
All right. Please smile. Okay. So Tanya is leading, followed by Magnus. Then we have Nana, and Nastia.
Such a different experience.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh yeah.
What is this?
It's a Autobahn.
No, but what was the stuff I blew up on? There was some stuff on the track which it's bombs.
Bombs.
Who put those there?
Oh,
But the bombs were the last time I played this round.
yeah, I can't remember.
You know.
So let me give an overview of each of these really quickly so we know. So I'm going to go with like highest value to lowest value, I think, like price point. So the first would be the RG556. So this is a 5.5-inch screen, OLED, Android based, runs a T820 chipset, which basically means it can run all the way up to GameCube and PS2, and then it can run Android games and stuff. So that's the premier one, I guess. Then there's the RG Cube, same performance as this one, but a smaller package. Has a 1:1 aspect ratio screen, like a square screen, but can also play up through GameCube, PS2, also Android based. These are both black. After that, it's all like a lower tier. So I think the next would be the RGB30. So this is same screen as this one, kind of same size. This is more a squarish handheld. But can only play up to like Nintendo 64 era instead. And then everything else, yeah, is about the same level. So those are all going to play mostly up to PS1, but you can play some others. So we have this one, which is the 40XXH. So horizontal handheld, 4 inches, and is like nice and thin too. So this one's really nice. But again, only plays up to like PS1. And then this one, it's a much smaller one, 28XX. So this one is 2.8 inches, but you can like fit it in your pocket. So it's a nice travel little handheld. Same performance, same chip as the other one. And then we have this one, also same performance, same chip as this one. This one's more Game Boy shaped, 3.5-inch screen. This is a 35XX. It's like I'm making a video here.
You are.
Actually, yes. Okay, so here's another good one. This one goes in the same category as the RGB30. So same screen, square screen, but this one's vertical. So it's a vertical version of this one. And this one's transparent blue. Then we have the V10. So this one is also shaped like vertically like this.
Like a Game Boy.
Like a Game Boy, but it's this. This one is ideal for Game Boy Advance, the way the screen is made. So if you like playing Game Boy Advance games, this one's really great. Also pretty small. Then we have the Mio A30. So this one's a smaller handheld, 2.8 inches. So it's basically another version kind of this one. Same kind of performance power. This one has an analog stick and comes with a little case. This one's pretty good. And then we have the TrimUI Smart Pro. It's about the same level as all of these in performance. But a flatter and kind of thinner device and a bigger screen. But this one in particular, for anyone who gets it, is the R1 button on this is kind of sticky, so it's not great when it comes to playing. And then we have the game console R35S. This one is also Game Boy shaped. It's actually an orange color like this. This one's got a pretty good screen, but I don't like the buttons on this one. They're a little mushy feeling, so I'm not a huge fan of this one. But it still performs up to PS1, no problem. And then I also brought a controllers for Nintendo Switch, so if anyone wants a controller, there's that as well. I think that's it.
If you'd like to subscribe.
Yeah, nice summary.
Yeah.
Actually, you got all the data in your backbone.
I did it in less than 45 minutes. Which is
Yeah.
very, very
Are you feeling well?
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you need to rest?
It's a YouTube short, almost.
So,
So first place goes to Nastya. Do you get the first shoe? You get to pick what you want.
Okay, thank you.
And if you need advice, Russ is
Yeah, I
standing
can
by.
answer you. That was a lot of information.
Also, you get lifetime support from Ross.
Well,
and if you want to take
In the
them
form of
out
my
to
videos.
hold them to see how they feel.
yeah, you're marble to take them out too if you want to try it out and see how it feels.
I think about this one. I actually have a Kokiji at home.
Okay.
One of the small ones,
Okay.
like this.
Okay.
That's one, maybe, yeah.
This one's really big and ergonomic, you know, and the LEDs light up, it's really colorful.
That's Android, right?
Yeah, Android. Well, it's actually not color LED; they just go white. But,
Ooh.
yeah.
Feels good. You broke it already?
Like a little bug inside of it. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, so it's an OLED screen. That's one of the nice things.
Wow. I like this. I just get it.
Okay.
Allow me to- Thank you.
This is back.